Mic check, mic check. One of the Masters podcast host, man. Of course, yo, man. Shout out to all the supporters, all the listeners, all the people that share the Facebook posts, other people that be engaged in the topics, that call me, that email me, message me, text me, snap me, Instagram on a regular basis, week in, week out basis, monthly basis, checking for the content. I can't really do this without y'all, man. Y'all motivate me 100%. Like on days when I ain't got no energy, y'all give me all the energy I need. So I definitely want to shout out the supporters first and foremost, as always. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout out everybody who took the time to watch or listen to the Thinking Out Loud. I got great feedback on there. Shout out to everybody who went to listen to the Cousin Kobe episode. 'Cause I did Thinking Out Loud just to kind of help promote the Cousin Kobe episode. 'Cause I feel like, he did a great job interviewing me, and the questions he asked was really dope. Some of them were unexpected, so I felt like my answers weren't really all the way thought out. So I wanted to give you some thought out answers on my platform, but also directly to his platform. So shout out to him. Shout out to him for the shirt. Say no to greatness. It's a new shirts he got. I've been rocking Kobe for a minute. I remember he had the green one, so if you can see it right here. Shout out to him. Fit well. I feel like I got muscle. I don't work out, but I feel like I work out, when I get a nice shirt. I ain't gonna lie, man. Designing in shirts is a tough business because I personally feel like I feel big and better like when I got a nice shirt, a nice fitting shirt on. Like it cut the arm like just right. Like yeah, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Say something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but for real, shout out to y'all, man. Couldn't do this without y'all. So one of the things I didn't touch on last week, I'm gonna touch on. But before I get into that, man, shout out to Cousin Kobe, man, for the podcast that he had me on, and just for his consistency. I see he's still working, still doing work. So shout out to him. Shout out to everybody out there that is in the podcast world or just in the creative world, whether you doing creative like far as blogging, vlogging, writing blogs, video vlogs, podcasting, internet radio, Facebook live shows, any kind of artistic things. You design, you model, you take pictures, you got a clothing line, you make clothes, you stitch clothes, you do logos, you make hats, you make this, that, and third. Man, shout out to y'all. I know it's not an easy grind, and a lot of the hardest work nobody sees. And I want to just tell anybody that's thinking about giving up or that feel like they ain't made it there yet or that feel like they ain't got their feet planted, foot in the door, they ain't doing enough, that just keep pushing, man. Just keep pushing. You'll get there. I don't care what it is. If you're selling one shirt a week right now, oh well. Your goal should be selling 2 shirts a week. After 2, should be selling 4, 8, 16. Just keep going like that way. Like, don't ever get down on yourself because business moving slow motion. I seen something when I was young. I had a barber, and it's funny, you talk about loyalty and just staying loyal to what you're doing and keeping course and staying the course right. I had this barber when I was young named Ibn, and at one point it was like 3 barbers in there, but then it was just him at one point. And I remember on a mirror he had this saying, it was like, slow motion is better than no motion. Mind you, there's one barber in this whole barbershop with 2 other chairs. And for the rest of that time when I was up in New York, he didn't have no other barbers in there. It was just him. So if you come in, he got 5 heads, that's 5 heads you waiting. But like he said, slow motion is better than no motion. So the fact you got motion, you are getting that 1 shirt a week. You got some kind of motion going on. I don't care if it's the same person buying it. You got a loyal customer. Like it's all about perspective and how you look at things. You know what I'm saying? So when anybody that tell you that talk to me, when they complain or when they vent, I let them vent, let them complain. But I give them the real, like, hey, you can have this. Be lucky you got that because you can have this. And that's always my motto. You know what I'm saying? And that leads me into the topic I wanted to talk about today too. That was not. There's no pun at all, But one of the topics or one of the questions I got last week from my Thinking Out Loud that I didn't get to talk about because I was trying to go over 30 minutes was the fact that I said I didn't dwell on failures, and people wanted me to expound on that, not dwelling on failures, right? So for this Thinking Out Loud, I don't have nothing in me. When I do Thinking Out Loud, it's just off the top. So I might go in and out which way, it's just me talking, and it's kind of like it's almost like for free. It's like freestyling for a rapper, like a person that rap and write rhymes that really raps. You know what I'm saying? When you freestyling, you just kind of perfecting your craft. So these is my freestyle. These Thinking Out Loud is my freestyle. I can have an idea in mind, but I don't know how it's gonna be because I just come in, turn the lights on, get set up, hit record, and go. Like I don't worry about how the content gonna come out. So, I said it to say, when I talk about not dwelling on failures, just in the instance, what I mean is I don't sit there and ponder about what could have been, what should have been, far as like when I say dwelling, I don't just sit there all day and think about it, but I do take from any failure, losses, or anything that's the opposite of a win. I take from that. What I take from that is what I do to get that next W, that next win, that next certification, that next pass. I want to do better. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to do. I'm sorry, I kind of got lost track. I got my daughter in the back, and she on FaceTime, and she's super, super loud right now. Hoping y'all can't hear that. But yeah, so I could just talk about a few times in my life where I did fail, and I've talked about this a plenty of times to people, but I'll talk about it in a short way, but a short, sweet way, because one of the people that I'm gonna talk about is no longer with us, and I want to be respectful on that front. But when I was 19, I owned a business, and you couldn't tell me I wasn't doing it. I'm 19, owned a whole restaurant. Like, I felt like I was the man, you know what I'm saying? And we doing great, good numbers, good money. Had my daughter come in, and then just before my daughter was born, I remember my birthday is October 10th, and I would say we lost the business October 12th. My birthday was on a Monday. We lost the business that Wednesday of 2011. So just like that, boom, it's gone, right? A failure. I felt like a failure because I came out with nothing. Didn't have nothing else. Everything was just gone. You know what I'm saying? As far as the business standpoint. So I said to say I didn't dwell on it. I just had to keep moving, keep going. The reason why I'm saying I didn't dwell on it, because if I dwelled on it, I wouldn't do nothing else that I did. Like, I went and I started to film my brother games, right? But with that, I had more time now. So I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try to do a highlight tape of my own. Instead of paying somebody for a highlight tape, that's what I was doing at the time. I get my own. And I started working with a guy named Chad Cook because I didn't have no money. So I started working with Chad Cook a lot because that was my only income. And Chad, at the time, because I knew what I was doing, because Don was such a prominent, basketball player at the time for what Chad was doing, it made sense for, you know what, you want all the games, why don't you just film all the games for him and da-da-da. So I'm making a certain amount of money per week, per game, just filming my brother, right? But because I didn't dwell on that and I didn't sit pout and I found something else to do, started doing it, boom, something else came up. Okay, damn, all right, I can make this amount of money per week just filming my brother. Something I'm gonna do anyway. All right, bet, I'm gonna do that. Cause I didn't sit there and dwell. I went and I kept moving. Not saying that you can't sit back and think about your losses and see where you went wrong. That's fine. But dwelling on a loss and see where you went wrong is two different things, if that makes sense. Or dwelling on a failure, rather. Anytime I fail, I look at it like, I'm not trying to be that person that's like, taking all these quotes and, blah, blah, blah. But anytime I failed at something, I didn't know I failed at it until I passed the next time, if that makes sense sometimes. So sometimes when I did fail, because I couldn't dwell on it because I didn't know I failed. Beginning podcasting, I remember the first time I put an episode out with my brother. We tried it 3 times. And when I finally put it out, the numbers was crazy. I got like 2,000 listens. I'm like, oh, it's lit. About to do this, about to get these ads, this, that. So the next week, I did with my other brother, just regular dude. That one, boom. I was struggling to get over 50, 55 listens. I'm like, whoa, what the what's going on? The next one I did got like over hundreds of listens, you know what I'm saying, but a different person. No fan person, but I just did different things. So I'm 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes in, and all of them got different numbers, right? I didn't look at episode 2 as a failure though, because I never dwelled on it. I never dwelled on it as a failure. I never looked at it as a failure. I just like, you know what? Skinny ain't Don. That's my brother's name. We call him Skinny. Skinny ain't Don. So Don numbers is Don numbers. Skinny numbers gonna be skinny numbers. So I realized quickly, okay, cool. Depending on the guest you got, the numbers can change because people are gonna be intrigued about what this person's gonna say. Boom. That's how it goes. And that's with anything, like even in life, like where I work at. I remember them sending me to a different department. They sent me outside on the garden to work. At the time, they would call me a pretty boy. They called me pretty boy at the store because I worked inside, did kind of operational stuff. So I could wear good clothes to work, Jordans, any new sneakers, whatever. I can wear them to work. I could wear work fresh. I didn't have to do no physical or like dirty work type stuff. So they called me a lot of things. I made manager or department supervisor rather. I was in plumbing electrical. Went out, boom, go outside on the garden, and I feel like I did good, but like I didn't look at it as failure. But I got better and better at it. Like my goal the next year was I'm gonna work on this part. Then the year after that, I'm working on this part. Now I only did 3 summers out there. My third summer, I felt like I was good. Like I didn't need to be walked out there. I feel like I just knew what needed to be done, what needed to be set, how to set it, how to utilize my people, how to leverage my payroll, and how to do all this stuff. I just ran the business, right? And I said it to say, it's not until now, not today, but just now, right around this time, like the past couple months, where I realized, the first year I went outside of the garden, I failed. Like I now, me knowing the business, me knowing this, I failed. But I only know I failed because when in that particular time, I didn't dwell on it, but I wanted to learn from everything. So anytime I did something, okay, I'm gonna do this next time, or next year I'm gonna do this. Planning ahead, doing certain things, like changing things up. I'm about to curse. Changing things up. It helped me to realize, like, damn, like back then I kind of failed, but like now I'm doing good. But I didn't dwell on failure. So had I known I failed back then, or felt like I failed, or people was telling me, you failed at that time, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. I'd probably be upset, be in my feelings, be mad, be pondering about it, dwelling on it, like, damn, how I failed. Is that, and blaming people, questioning things. But I never got to do that because I always wanted to learn. My goal always is just learning as I go along. Even now in the position I'm in now, I don't feel like I'm doing a great job, but then boom, I get these messages of how you did this, you did that, you got this, the best in the region. I don't know. I mean, I be honest, I'm fed up. I was fed up with the position. Low key, I'm calling today and I'm having a conversation like, I don't know if I want to do this. But I never dwell on it though. Like, I know what I can do, which is about learning from every single, even the small failures. Like, everything is detail, everything matters. The small failures, just even today. I'm gonna use today's example, right? Today, not saying I failed at nothing, but I wanted to do something. Somebody asked me, said, "Yo, did you record any since the last thing I live?" I'm like, "Nah." Boom. That's a small failure to me because you got to support somebody who's listening to your podcast, somebody who's cheering you on, who's supporting you, and you're like, damn. They didn't say that, but in my mind, I'm like, damn, okay, I didn't put nothing out. So that give me the strength to come in here and knock out 2 podcasts. I did with my daughter just now. It's called Sweet 16. It's going only audio, so you got to go to More Than Masters on Apple Music or SoundCloud to listen to it. But then this, Thinking Out Loud, I went ahead and did it because why not? Like, you gotta stay ahead, plan ahead, and you gotta stay active. And that's the main thing. When I tell y'all in the beginning, don't worry about if you're selling 1 shirt, try to sell 2 next week. Don't worry about if you're not getting a lot of motion. Slow motion better than no motion. I feel that, but at the same time, you gotta put your all in. Like, anything you're doing, I would say just be 100% in it. Like, that's my motto. Like, I try to be full throttle, all in, 2 feet in with anything I'm doing, if possible. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about failures, like for me, I felt like I failed when, I was about to have a second kid. Like, damn, I ain't here in life. I ain't did this yet. And I remember like wanting to dwell and wanting to feel, get pity or this, that, and third. But no, you gotta strap your boots and you gotta get to it. You gotta find a way, think a way, make a way. You know what I'm saying? That's all I've ever done. I learned that from my moms. One thing I say with my moms, and I always try to give her kudos, her just due when I can. My mom is a big reason for me never dwelling on failures. We are different. Don't get me wrong. Me and my mom is 2 different people, and she'll tell you that. But I can't help but take a lot of her traits because she raised me. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about her, she never ever dwelled on something that could have seen as a loss. I never seen her dwell on stuff when things it was no way out. Like, she made a way out just from not dwelling, just from moving. Like you gotta just stay afloat. You gotta keep swimming. You gotta keep staying above water. And I've always tried to do that. Like, a lot of times I don't know that I failed until I'm passing. Like, oh damn, I failed that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know I'm doing bad until I'm doing good. Like, damn, that was really wild. Like, I was doing bad back then. And I try to give people that same motivation. Like, know your surroundings, know where you at. Yeah, but don't dwell on it. Like, never dwell on no failure, because all failures is temporary. That's the main thing. A failure is temporary. You fail on Wednesday, cool. What you gonna do on Thursday? You got Friday coming up, Saturdays after that, and Sunday. It's the same every week. Never changes. Then Monday. All right, same every week. So that's how I feel when it comes to failure. Failure is always temporarily. So I never go and dwell on failure, because I could fail on Thursday. I could fail on Wednesday and Thursday, pass on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I could pass for 7 days straight. But that's also another thing. I don't even get too high or too down. I don't get too high or too low. I don't get too excited or too bitter or too down to accept a loss or appreciate my wins. I've never done that. You gotta have balance with this. So for me, you're going to look when I'm happy and I'm up, I'm gonna be this way. When I'm down, I'm gonna be this way, because my thing is you gotta push forward. You never know what's in store for you. And I learned that from my mom. Like, if we ever had bad days or we just was down bad, and as transparent as my mom was with me, because I was the oldest, she never made me feel like, damn, we really effed up right now. Like, I knew sometimes stuff was we was fucked. I knew we was fucked, but I always felt like it was gonna be a way. So I never was down. It was like went outside and just like, like what we gonna do? How we gonna get? Nah, it's just one of them things where I just feel like I know it's gonna play itself out. And I know my demeanor tells people that sometimes, like how my attitude is. My demeanor is like, do you ever worry? Somebody asked me the other day at work. They was like, because I guess my attitude was just like, it is what it is, kind of type of thing. And he was like, yo, because we had a walk coming up. And he goes, yo, do you ever care about a walk? And I care about them because they're important. You can lose your job if you have a bad walk. Like, it's serious. This is career. This is good money. You know what I'm saying? But like I told him, I'm like, yeah, but you can have a great walk today and then next week have a messed up walk. So I don't get too up, too down. The goal is always to be consistent and have some type of normalcy, so that when you do got them walks, you're not running through hoops and hell and high water trying to make sure stuff is done. You know what I'm saying? When you do get that pop-up visit, you ain't got to scramble because you're doing what you do on a daily basis. And that's all I've ever tried to do. Just be consistent, do what you got to do on a daily basis, and get the job done. And that's all I want to tell people. Like, don't ever dwell on failure, because like I said, it's temporarily. You could fail Monday, you could fail Wednesday and Friday. What you do on Tuesday and Thursday, what you learn from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's how you gotta think of it, man. I ain't want to keep that too long, man. Just another thinking out loud. Never dwell on no failures, man. Trust me, like, it ain't worth it. You dwell on a failure, you start doubting yourself. You put yourself in this little pit, and sometimes it's hard to get up out of that. If you ain't gotta put yourself in that downward spiral, don't put yourself there. Like, don't do that. If you got a new position at work, if you got a new job you're doing, something new you're doing in life, and you just feel like it's hard, you can't cover ground, you feel like you're not doing the best you could do, learn from whatever it is and go little by little. You gotta take baby steps. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta just take the baby steps and take the small wins. I'm telling you, them small wins rack up, and next thing you know, you running shit. You in charge. Like, you know how this go. You know how that go. So all that stuff is mandatory. So I'm sorry, my phone going off and stuff. So I'm supposed to be done. I got mad stuff going on, work, all this other crazy stuff. So another thing out loud, man. Make sure y'all go cop a shirt from my guy Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Just great. It's just a great guy overall, man. He's dope. This has been a good couple weeks, man, for me. So shout out to y'all. If I got anybody I want to have on the podcast, see on the podcast, please let me know. Any topics you want me to talk about, please let me know. And that's out, man. One Man's Podcast, we out. Do not dwell on your failures. Focus on your small wins. Small wins turn into big wins. Remember that. All small wins turn into real big wins in the future. All small losses turn into big losses in the future. Learn from them. Grow. Succeed. We out.